Welcome to the Philthy DadPod Sport Podcast. Not a podcast version, a little video recap version of tonight's game. Just got finished watching it, and my God, it was an amazing game. For anybody in Philly who has suffered with this team through all this, maybe lost interest in the team, came back, joined the squad. Even if you never rooted for the Phillies, we are welcoming everybody onto the bandwagon. What this team is doing right now, what they've been able to do, get to this point and to take 2 games so far out of 3 against arguably the best team in baseball over the last 5 years has been nothing short of spectacular. And I'm excited to continue this run with you guys. I'm excited to continue this run with the team. And I want this thing, man, to just continue going and the momentum is crazy. Did you see the bank today? Citizens Bank Park was rocking. I mean, there's nothing like Citizens Bank Park during Phillies baseball. They call it Red October for a reason, and it gets wild down there. And Houston, we've seen it in the first 2 games. Houston does not have the home field advantage that we have. No other team in the league has the home field advantage that we do. And it shows. Our team is still to this point. We're undefeated at home, and the crowd plays a huge part in coming into this game. I mean, obviously, we're expecting to play this game last night. We were looking to get Noah Syndergaard out on the mound, and things changed. It rained here in Philly. It rained a lot. We got some Halloween rain, and the game got postponed. And believe it or not, it did work out to the Phillies' favor because now Suarez got the pitch today. Nola gets to go tomorrow, and if they decide to put Syndergaard on the mound, he goes for a game 5. But I got a feeling if we could pull out a win tomorrow, it might be an all hands on deck situation. Game 5, get them in Philly, keep them in Philly. But first, handle business in game 4. And before we can handle business in game 4, we have to recap game 3. And it was an exciting one from the rip. It was, I mean, the Phillies punched them in the mouth from the beginning. I mean, we opened up Rangers on the mound, and for people that don't get to watch Ranger a lot, he's a ground ball pitcher. He's calm, he's cool, collected. His emotions don't get the best of him. You can't even tell that the guy is pitching in a World Series game. And he was big for us in game 1. He was big for us. He closed out the NLDS. He was big for us in game 1. And he balled out today. And if you would have told me coming in to game 4 of the World Series that Nola, and they said this on the broadcast, that Nola and Wheeler would have given up 10 runs and the rest of the Philly staff would have given up none, no shot in the world do I think we're up 2-1. But the offense has come to play. We let the one slip in Houston. That game in Houston, we almost, again, 5-3 was the final. Schwarber had a couple chances to crack that game and get us a little bit closer, and wasn't able to happen. But now you look back and it's like if we were able to grab that game 3, that second game, oh man, this is something crazy. But let's jump into it, man. Suarez took the mound and he just did what he does. He painted. He wasn't around the middle. He didn't miss. He got his low pitches active. He was getting ground balls. He was getting pop-ups. They really weren't able to touch him. Castellanos, man, that first pitch, Houston came out and did the same thing that they did in game 2. They came out, they said, all right, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to go for it, and we're going to try to punch this team in the mouth, and we're taking their fans out. But weren't able to do it. Castellanos with a great opening play. First pitch of the game, he was able to go and get that little, what would you call it, a pop-up? Not a pop-up, a line drive, but a sliding catch that mirrored the catch he had earlier in the series. Then the second pitch, Ranger was able to get Pena to ground out to stop, which was another good defensive play. And then just finish it off. Yordan Alvarez, he battled, but he wasn't able to put nothing on the board against Suarez, at least not in that first one. And they weren't able to touch him all day. Then the offense came alive. And I mean, Schwarby, he was patient. He got that opening walk, which turned out to be crucial. It turned out to be the game-winning run. Reese Reese missed his first 2 fastballs, and this was a guy coming in that you knew was going to throw a lot of breaking balls, and Reese got 2. He got the first one was a nice fastball. The second one was borderline kind of outside, but he still swung at it, and he missed them both, and he went down swinging and struck out. And then JT, who I want to shout out, JT got a Gold Glove today, best catcher in baseball by far. Don't argue me. You want to argue someone? Go argue with your mama. Do not argue me that the best catcher in baseball is the one that hits inside the Parkers, inside the playoffs. That is JT Realmuto. We're going to call him JT Gold Gloves. JT GG. Then, I don't even want to talk. There's nothing to say. The last pitch that Bryce Harper seen in Citizens Bank Park was the one in which he launched us to the World Series. Very next pitch was this.
Harper. It's drilled. Right center field. Lightning strikes. 2-0 Phils.
Goosebumps when it happened. Goosebumps now. I mean, this house. Now, this house is full of me, my wife. We got a couple of 6-year-olds and almost a 2-year-old here. My daughter was not here, but this house was rocking. My kids went from playing. They really weren't over here, man, watching with us. We were trying to get them. They weren't too excited. I don't know. Maybe I failed my children, but they were over there playing Fortnite, and once they heard us go off about that Bryce bomb, they were glued. You know, my son's favorite player is Bryce Harper. They were glued to the TV. And I mean, Bryce hits that home run. We rewinded it. We put it on the board for them, or we put it on the TV. We let them watch it again with us. And for the next 10 minutes, I mean, it wasn't just Bryce. It was the other guys that wound up hitting bombs too. But for the next 10 minutes, my son is sitting there. I got videos of this kid sitting there emulating his home run swing. We're announcing that Ryan's hitting home runs and Eli's hitting home runs. And it's a great family moment. That moment with the Phillies, what they did tonight was something special. But Bryce, just like he ended it in the NLDS in Philly, he started it off. And this is where Philly is dangerous. Look, I'm a homer. I will say I'm a homer through and through. I think a lot of sports fans, you love your team. You're gonna have different opinions about your team that other people may not see. You're gonna have hope. You're gonna have different feelings than other people do. And I'm in no way trying to diminish what the Astros do and the great team that they are. But the goal was always to split one in Houston, and then just like we did with Atlanta, just like we did with San Diego, don't let them leave Philly. Once you get them to Philly, you can't let them out the cage. No, it's too crazy here. The fans, just the way that the team plays here, them boys love hitting in Citizens Bank Park, and today today showed that. And it wasn't just Bryce. And if you caught the broadcast, if you watched the game, if you didn't, as soon as Bryce hit the home run, he was in the dugout. And who was up the bat? Castellanos, that boy Castellanos, which I love his defense. He was they said he was rated the worst defender in the league this year. Well, don't tell me that in the playoffs because Nick came to play. But while Nick was batting and Alec Bohm was in the on deck circle, Bryce pulled him over and told him something. And Castellanos got out. We had to wait an extra inning to see what Bohm was going to do. But the first pitch, I'm assuming he told him, "Yo, he is going to sit. He's going to send you a breaking pitch. Sit on it, and if you get it, make him pay." And they kept mentioning how they think that the Phillies had a tip on what McCullens was doing, and I think it was the leg kick. People pointed it out. I think it was the leg kick. When he was throwing his fastballs, that leg kick wasn't so dramatic, but when he was throwing them breaking pitches, that leg kick was up in the air. He was getting it up there, and I don't know if that was the tell or not, but Bohm comes out in the bottom of the second, and first pitch, does this thing. Let's show you it.
Bohm starts the second and rips one to left field. Over Alvarez and gone! Ambush! 3-zip!
listen, that was a rocket, and that was the first of the inning, and that just got the play. As much as Bryce's home run got the place going, that kind of woke us up and was like, okay, it ain't just going to be the Bryce show. Everybody is showing up for this game here, and it didn't stop there. I don't have the Marshy home run, but that was a weird home run. It was just a weird play. Marsh got a hold of a ball, he got underneath, and he's done this a couple times where he doesn't hit bombs. Okay, Brandon Marsh does not hit bombs. He hits those ones that barely get out, but he's timely with them. I think this was his second home run in the playoffs so far this year, and he was able to just poke it out. And they were reviewing it, thinking that maybe the kid interfered with it and it would be a double, but there's no shot. No shot you're taking that home run off the board. Marshy did his thing. He got us up there and turned it into a 4-0 game. And just like that, within 2 innings, it's 4-0. And that's huge going against this team because, again, Houston, you got to put runs on the board because they have an offense that can explode at any time. And again, this isn't a PG-13 podcast that this is going to be. So it's fuck the Astros, but you got to respect the team that's out there. You got to respect that other team. And the Astros, again, like we mentioned, the Astros are probably the best team in the league over the last 5 years. I'm sorry that I'm looking away. I'm trying to send this out to somebody. I promise I will give you all my full attention. I'm still giving you my full attention. You're just not getting to see these beautiful blues. But listen, when you got Marshy doing this thing, and it's not just Bryce, and it don't just have to be Schwarber, and everybody gets locked in and does their thing, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. And this team is dangerous. This team is absolutely dangerous. So I want to get more friends in here. I want to get more people in here for you guys. But It's something about the bank. It's something about the bank. And they keep saying that it's the fans. And I'm starting to believe it's the fans. The fans make a big difference in what's going on here. What can we say about my boy? He got tacos for the country. The Wawa Hoagie Fest has been renamed the Schwarber Fest, and he just keeps hitting bombs.
Away pitches. Schwarber flies it to center field. McCormick's going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Gone! Wow! Monstrous blast!
Here in Philly, we call those the Schwar bombs. And that's because these are not your everyday average home runs. You remember that 488-foot one he bombed in San Diego. These are bombs. I think this one went like 441. It hit the top wall at the bank. It hit the ivy that's up there. It was a shot. 2-run shot, made it 6-0. And at that point, you can't help but feel like, okay, they're going to bomb this team. And all we have to do is just keep the ball down. Don't give up no crooked numbers. I was comfortable giving up maybe 1 or 2 going into it after we put up the 6th run. But it got to a point where it's like, nah, we're not giving up anything. It's not just the offense. It wasn't just the offense this game, because we could have stopped at the Bryce home run. Now, of course, that would have changed things. Different pitchers would have played. And I love the way that this game turned out. But we'll get to that. My boy, who I want to go on record, and I'm going to apologize. And my co-host, who's not with me, Tom Flynn, T Grizzly, I called him. In the was it the Braves series or the Padres series? We were on the phone, and I was killing Reese. It was after one of his many blunders that he had at first base. I was killing this man, and I was just like, bro, this dude's got to go. I'm done with him. I don't care what he does the rest of this series. If we advance, I don't care. I literally said to this dude, the only way that this dude could save his image with me personally, he gotta win us a chip. And he gotta be a catalyst to that chip. He can't just be somebody that's along for the ride. He's got to do something to change it. And he immediately went on his run. He did what he did in the Braves series, the bat spike, everything like that. In San Diego, he lit it up. And then in this game, I understand that it's a 1-run home run, right? It's a single shot, and the game was already out of hand at that point. But Reese is such a streaky hitter that if this dude can get going, that's just one more element that people got to deal with that the Astros got to deal with the Phils
when they're at the plate. Hoskins with a drive, left field. Wow! An explosion! The South Philly Bombers with 5.
Love that nickname, the South Philly Bombers. That might be something that the Philly adopts. I'm sorry, not adapts. Philly adopts, because it's exactly what they were tonight. They were the South Philly Bombers. And listen, a lot of people, I know the vibe in Philly right now is you don't question Topper. You do not question the manager of those Philadelphia Phillies. And the reason why is because he's pulled every string. He's pushed every button that he's needed to make this team, to give his team, to get them to the World Series and to get them a 2-1 series lead. In game 1, he did what he did with pulling Ranger and having Ranger close out that game. I think that was huge. And again, to do this when your starter, your two horses really haven't given you anything is just, he's made all the right moves. And then today, and you get through the second, Ranger gets through the second time around the Houston Astros lineup. It's top of the fourth, 2 outs, and he's pitched good enough. He's in 70s pitch count. That's not the issue. He's pitched well enough to at least get a chance to line himself up for a dub. But Topper is very, very conscious of not giving the momentum back to Houston. That was part of the reason why he did what he did in game 1 and why he brought Alvarado in. And what was it, the 5th or 6th inning that game? He does not want to give the momentum back to Houston, and I don't blame him, because that team, again, as we said time and time again, that team is dangerous. But he leaves Ranger out. He lets Ranger get Ranger's in a little bit of a pickle there, and he lets him go after Altuve. And he gets Altuve pretty easily and lines himself up for the win. And Ranger deserves it. Ranger deserves it. I'm pretty sure they said it was he's the either first or maybe I think it's the second Venezuelan-born pitcher to win a World Series game, which kudos to Ranger. He deserved it. He's done everything that this team has asked him to, whether it's been in a starting role, whether it's been in a reliever role, a closing role. I mean, Ranger is he's that utility Swiss knife that is he's going to pop up again in this series. Just because it's game 3 doesn't mean he's done. He looks like he's in line to be the game 7 starter if it were to go 7. If the Phillies needed him in a game 6 to try to close it out, I think he would be ready too. But props to Ranger for the game that he put together. And that brings me to the bullpen. This bullpen coming into the season was the biggest question mark, and it was something that last year was a big problem for us, and everybody had just assumed that it was going to be a big problem for us this year. And they've had their ups and downs, but they've been a strong unit, especially in the playoffs. And this series, they really kept us when the Phillies were, when Nola got knocked around, gave up his 5 runs, and the Phillies were making their comeback, and they just needed the bullpen to hold it down. They held it down. When Wheeler gave up his 5 and Topper was just like, don't give up no more, they didn't. They gave us a chance to get back into it. We weren't able to get it done. But then today, it was a little bit different, because Ranger leaves the game. He's up 5-0. Alvarado was warming up to come into the game, and they wind up sitting him down. They sat Alvarado down, and they didn't have to bring him in, which is huge, because now he's available for tomorrow. He's available for game 5. I mean, he would have been available regardless. I think it's an all hands on deck situation here, but he's available and he's ready to go. Like he didn't have to put. They got the rain delay yesterday. I don't know if Alvarado pitched game 2. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they had the rain delay yesterday, and then not having to pitch today is huge. So after Suarez comes in, you got Brogdon came in and gave you an inning where he only gave up a hit. Kyle Gibson came in, gave you an inning where he only gave up one hit. And Nick Nelson and Bilotti, they each gave you one inning. They didn't give up any hits, but they both walked 2, and Nelson walked 2. Bilotti had a clean inning. He had 1 strikeout. No hits allowed, no walks, nothing like that. And the Phillies, man, they nailed it down. They finished the game 7-0, and they take a 2-1 series lead. And that is huge, again, because now we have the home field advantage, meaning we have more home games than, well, now it's 2-2, but we got the 2-1 lead. That's why taking that split in Houston was so big, was because it gave us the advantage, and nobody wants to come play in Philly. I don't care. You could, as professional athletes, they could talk about how it doesn't affect them, and they look past it and they're able to block it out. And people talk about how professional athletes, no, you are not coming into Philly and blocking it out. And one of my favorite things, again, we talked about it from the beginning. I'm not one of the people that are saying that Valdez was cheating in game 2. And I don't really want to take anything away from him. He was dominant. And he is a fidgety pitcher that likes to go to his hair and go to his neck and touch things and whatever. Doesn't mean he's necessarily cheating. But, of course, with their history, people are just going to assume the worst. But the Philly fans, man, they let them hear it. They were chanting cheaters at one point. They were chanting different things. And they got to Houston. They did not look like the Houston Astros. Now, I know every team has off days, and this is not, they're not going to look the same tomorrow. I doubt that we blank them again in this series, let alone back-to-back games. But just to even see that in the first game back to Philly, that puts the momentum so much in our favor. It's not even funny. It's crazy. Philadelphia fans have showed up, right? And people, I have friends, I have associates, different people that are like, that call the Phillies fans, oh, everybody's just celebrating now because they're in the championship and this and that. And it's like, okay, that might be true, but the Phillies weren't very good up until this point. The Phillies, it's been years. It's been years. It was 13 years out of the playoffs. It was Girardi was not nobody liked Girardi, kind of like a Doc Rivers situation, but the culture of this team changed. The young guys ball out. Bryce is a great leader. He got Schwarber, Castellanos, Robertson. They all got some postseason experience, and they were able to come in and help out with the young guys. And then just the young guys. My boy Stott. I love that graphic that they put up. He's seeing the most. He's a rookie, and he is seeing the most pitches per at bat in the entire playoffs. 5th is Kyle Schwarber, but he's above everybody else. All these great hitters. Stotty is at the top. He's patient. When we need him to work a count, he's working a count, and he's just doing everything that he needs to do to put his team in the best position to win a World Series. I can't believe I'm saying that. You would have asked me a couple months ago if I would be saying that. I never would have believed it, but here we are. And with that, we're excited. It is 2-1. Philly has the lead, but this is not over. We have 2 more games to win. 2 more games to win. And I'm hoping that they get this shit done in Philly. Don't go back to Houston. Let Mattress Mac go back on his own. We don't need to go with them. This is just like the San Diego series. Let's not travel. We don't need to. We can end it here. We can have a hell of a party here. We can have a parade here. Let's end it in Philly. And with that, I see people hating on Mattress Mac. I won't hate on the guy. He came to Philly and he gave out all types of beds and different stuff. He came here and did charitable work here. I commend him for that. And I know that he has a bet in place on the Houston Astros to where if he wins, it's like a $75 million payout. And I'm all for everybody getting their money. But Mattress Mac, I don't give a damn about your bet. I hope that bet falls flat on its face because you are not winning a World Series at our expense. Let's go, Phils. I will jump with y'all tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna be here for the post game. I will get with you guys tomorrow. And I'm hoping that Thursday, do you understand? Do you understand for Philadelphia sports fans or just fans in general of sports? Do you know what could happen on Thursday? It's already all we gotta do is win. Just win tomorrow, but a slight look ahead. If was a fifth, I'd be drunk. But this is a big if. If the Phillies are able to take care of business in Game 4 and go up 3-1, that puts us in position to where Thursday could be the potential clinching game of the World Series for the Phillies on at the same time that our 7-0 Eagles are battling none other than the Houston Texans. We got the Phillies with the Houston Astros. We got the Eagles with the Houston Texans. We just got to put Houston out of their misery. We got a chance to take, and listen, Houston is close to Dallas. Use that as the motivation. Just get rid of all of Texas in the sports world right now. Take care of business with the Phils. Eagles take care of business on Thursday. I'm going to be live streaming that entire night from first pitch till the end. I'm going to be right here with you guys. Game's going to be on the TV. Other game's going to be on the monitor. The Phillies will, and this is I can't believe I'm saying this. The Phillies will take center stage in this household. They're going to be up on the big screen, of course. Everybody, I mean, come on. It's the Phillies World Series versus the Eagles being in the 8th game of the year against the Texans. But right there in a slightly smaller screen is going to be the Eagles, and I think that's going to be even if no matter what the Phillies series winds up being on Thursday. Thursday is a Philadelphia and just a sports fan's dream in general. Imagine if it was your city to where you got your baseball team is playing in the World Series and your undefeated football team is playing on Thursday Night Football, both in the same night. It's going to be tough, but not as tough as people are making it out to be, because you can have 2 screens. You can have your phone, your computer, your iPad, the TV, the monitors, whatever you want. Just get the games on. Listen to Merrill and Mike on the radio if you have to. Where can you go wrong? You got the Phillies. You're going to be cheering for the Phillies on one screen, cheering for the Eagles on the, and both are going to come out with a dub. I'm calling it right here, right now. But with that, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow for the post game. And then Thursday, join me live here, and we will be here the entire time. Man, I actually think a couple of my co-hosts are going to be joining us too. But we did record some content. We're going to start working on on getting the podcast out to you guys. We appreciate the patience. This was something that we put together, and we weren't going to start doing stuff like this for maybe a month or two so we could get everything together. But it's just a couple things worked out, and we're starting, and we're just going to keep going. And we hope that you guys, just join us, man. Interact with us, talk with us, tell us what you want to hear. And, we're going to give you the best content we can. I appreciate everyone for joining in. Much love. Go Phillies, go Birds.